Hi, this is JP Morgan. Today on the Slanted Lens, we're going to take a wonderful portrait of Mario here, bathed in blue light with a double rim, and then we're going to use our MyOp sound trigger to stop some action as we smash some bottles on his head. Or he may be smashing bottles on my head. But anyway, let's get started and see what we can do. That hurt. Don't wait, it's time to start growing your business. I truly can help you grow your business and make the money you need to do photography and make that your livelihood. Go to theslantlens.com/business class and sign up today. So let's take a look at our lighting setup. We had a double rim. We put a cyan 60, it's like a 4360 on the background on both sides. Nice rim on our talent, looked fabulous. As we were looking at that, the blue was kicking back into the background. We wanted a red in the beginning. The red was nice, but it was kind of getting polluted because of the blue kicking back. When we turned the red off, we thought, wow, that blue is really pretty. Let's do that blue on blue. Looked really moody and really nice. Then in the foreground, we took and we snooted our light. It's got a grid in there, a 20-degree grid, and then black wrap around it to make it really tight, just to give us a nice kind of glow on his face. Not very bright, just opens it up just a little bit. And then last of all, we slid in a piece of bead foam in the foreground just to bounce a little bit of light up into his face, and that really became our lighting setup. So we got 3 lights and a piece of beadboard, and that's our lighting setup. Let's take a quick look at some of these low light portraits. We decided to bring up the light on his face about 1 stop for the bottle breaking images. Here's our final lit image before we started breaking bottles. Now let's look at how we're going to smash the glass and contain the water. We went back to our old kiddie pool, which is great. Kiddie pool, plastic shield, so it's going to take all the water and run it right back into the pool, and then plastic on the floor to kind of keep everything contained. Once we got that set into place, we're then going to go to our breakaway bottles. Alfonso's Breakaway Glass gave us 20 or more of these breakaway bottles. You can smash them on your head and they don't really hurt that much. So Julian filled them full of water. Mario's gonna on his head. For our camera settings, I use a 5.6 on bulb and then 100 ISO. I use that 90mm Tamron lens, which gives you a nice portrait type look. It's really a fabulous look. And that's kind of the way we had our camera set up. But now when we go to do our shot, we've got the sound trigger. We brought that sound trigger and got it as close as possible to him. So it would be the second the glass is hitting his head, it's gonna go off. With that sound trigger right in that area, we're going to turn the lights off, we're going to put the camera on bulb, and then the sound trigger is going to fire the strobe. So we did that. And the very first one, I mean, we experimented a lot, but when we finally got to where we had it under control, the first one just barely his head, but then we lengthened the delay into 25, into 50, and you see it slowly get further and further in. It became very predictable at that point as it hit, and it was kind of exploding into his head. The hardest part about that is that I've got my trigger on bulb, and the second the strobe goes off, I've got to release it because the sound of the glass breaking on his head fires a strobe, but the glass hitting the ground fires a strobe one more time. So I got to make sure I release that trigger before the second flash. But doing those things together gives us a great controllable look at that splash that hits his head and goes out of the frame. The reason why you use the MyOps trigger to fire the strobes and not the MyOps trigger to fire the camera, which then fire the strobes, is exactly what just happened. It takes too long. So when you have the MyOps trigger firing the strobes immediately, it's quick. When you fire the camera, which fires the strobes, it's too late and it's too slow. Having the MyOps trigger that close to where the sound of the glass was breaking made it work fabulously, and we had complete control of that. After that, we just smashed away until we got some great shots of Mario. Let's take a look at some of those. We shot pieces of glass that Julian may use to retouch in there, so we threw some of that. As always, we calibrated our monitor with the Datacolor Spiderfly Pro before starting the post process. Julian took the best image of the bottle breaking over Mario's head and composited it with the best facial expression. Here's our final image. There were 4 images composited for this final image. His face, the bottle breaking, and a bunch of splashing glass. So there you have it. He had a great time doing a portrait of Mario here. He broke 18 bottles over his head. You okay there, dude? I'm all right. Okay. All right. He's the man. So we had a great time today, so keep those cameras rolling, keep on clicking. We've got our first workshop coming on April 30th. We're going to be at a fabulous airplane museum here in Los Angeles. I'm going to show you how to work on location in all different types of lighting situations, and then I'm going to let you take great images for your portfolio. Julian's going to end up our day with some fabulous editing tips that'll help take those images and really set them apart. It's on April 30th. You'll love it. Go to theslantlens.com and sign up today. It's a very limited group, so you better get over there. Don't forget to subscribe to the Slanted Lens. I'll send Mario over to push the button for you if you don't subscribe. Better check it out and subscribe. Mario's watching you. Are you watching him, Mario?
No.
He's watching you. So subscribe to the Slanted Lens.